Welcome to TRL Radio with your hosts, Eric and Michelle Hall.
Your average Joe experts in simplified health. Welcome to TRL Radio. We are your hosts, Eric and Michelle Hall, the lovely, the beautiful Michelle Hall.
Oh, babe.
Yeah. So today's episode, we are going to talk about what might be the single most important factor when it comes to all things around happiness and longevity.
Ooh.
Yeah, so a little
I'm
teaser
intrigued.
there for you. Yeah, we'll get into it there.
Before we do, though, we just want to give a shout out to one of our Spotify friends, C.D. Moyer, who
C.D.
commented, "Great first episode. Looking forward to more episodes and Eric's facial hair journey. Isn't that what we're all here for?"
Really, that's what this is all about. So
Yeah, I'm with you, C.D. Moyer. It has been quite the process. We're on episode 7 now, and it's looking luxurious and full.
yeah, I actually trimmed it up a little bit yesterday. But I think the beard's been full for a couple episodes now.
It has. So
Yeah,
we hope
so-
you enjoyed that journey.
Yep, yeah, face looks... I probably look a little older, but I also look less chubby, so I will take that.
Looking good,
And
babe.
face
You're
is a
looking
little bit
good.
warmer.
Yeah, I
it
bet. Now
felt
that it's
weird
getting
when I
cold.
touched it before. Yeah, so...
Love it.
Seriously though, share the love, leave a 5-star review, leave some comments. It's super helpful. We want to create some momentum here. We're on a journey, and really the more comments, the more likes and follows and subscribes help propel this journey
Gotta help
forward.
that algorithm stuff
That's it,
and all
that's
the
it.
things.
So-
But yeah, and you might get a shout out on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
there
so
you
CD
go.
Moyer, thanks for
Yeah.
that. But yeah, whatever platform you're listening on, leave a review.
Absolutely.
We honestly really appreciate it.
We really,
and they're-
really do.
Yeah, they're fun. We read all of them. At this point, there's not a ton. But
Doesn't take long.
We want to be overwhelmed with comments.
Yes, with the love.
So, with only good comments.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. So you said there is a single most important factor when it comes to all things around happiness and longevity. So Eric Hall, lay it on us. What is the secret?
Yeah, so there was a study done. It was I want to say it was 50, 60, maybe even 70 years to where the leader of the study, they would pass the baton on to the next guy, right? So this was going on where they were following people for this super long amount of time. And what they were trying to figure out is okay, if you had to narrow down to one thing, what is the one thing that is most tied to not only longevity, but when I say happiness, but so it's not only lots of years, but lots of happy years, lots of healthful years.
Good quality years.
That's exactly it, right? So, it's not really super important if you're on a hospital bed for the last 10 years of your life.
Right.
I heard someone say before that we're not living longer, we're actually dying longer, right? So this is health and longevity, good quality years, and they're saying, anyone you would think, okay, exercise routines, right? These people got to be super active, or how are they eating? They're really meticulous about how they eat, and I'm sure all those things played a factor, but the number one thing they found is positive relationships.
Crazy that it would have that much of an impact on not only how happy our life is, but actually living longer because of the relationships we have.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's funny because it's one of the things that, from experience, as you and I now hear these studies, it 100% lines up with the experiences that we had in our health, weight loss journey.
Right.
It completely lined up. So, and we'll jump more into all that kind of stuff. So we have this whole episode today that we wanted to talk about relationships. And you think, oh, wow, is this a health podcast? Why would you talk about that? Well, this is why. It is so dynamically tied to health and longevity. It's impossible to talk about those types of things without it. So,
right. We weren't meant to do this alone.
correct.
And so we're going to talk today about different types of relationships we might have, the good, and there can be bad. And we'll touch on that too. And maybe people that we're closer with than others and how that can affect our health and our health journey.
Yeah. So we kind of, if you think about a bullseye, kind of took these groups and we have an outer circle.
Yep.
We have an inner circle, and then we have like the bullseye or like the core, right? So those are the groups we're going to talk about. We're even going to be at the end to kind of, a little spoiler, talk about toxic relationships. And is that a thing? And if it is, what do we do with that? How do we deal with those? But the first thing we'll talk about here is outer circle, right? So tell us a little bit, what is our outer circle?
Okay, so you think, if you're on Facebook, right? And you look and you're like, oh, I have 1,256 friends. Cool. How close are you with all 1,200 and what did I say? I don't even remember what I said.
1,256.
56. There you go.
Always listening. Hear every word you say all the time.
You are amazing and I love you. Because I don't remember half the things I say. But how close are you really with all of those friends, right? Or Instagram or whatever social media platform you use. Your outer circle, it's people who know you. And maybe they know little tidbits about you or, they're following you on social media, things like that. But if you're moving next week, they're not going to be the ones showing up, helping you move the boxes, right? These are the people that are, kind of cheering you on from afar. Like they can be encouraging and you can have really encouraging moments with them, but they don't know you intimately.
Right. These are like maybe even sometimes a little bit deeper than social media. They're acquaintances, maybe your neighbors, right? On your street and things like that. Potentially even like coworkers and things like that of people who they're your outer circle. There's a little bit of influence there. I mean, think about it. Like there's jobs now that are social media influencer jobs, right? So I'm not saying that social media cannot be an influence, right? There's whole jobs around that now.
Right.
But that's your outer circle, right? One of the examples that, as you and I were talking through this, we kind of think about is like a student section at a sporting game, right? So you think about college sporting game, whether it be, I always think of basketball and football, where you have like these specific student sections where like faces are painted and they're just going bonkers nuts for their team, right? Win, lose, or draw, they are cheering. If a call is against their team, the ref is dumb, made a terrible
they
call,
are
right?
Booing,
right. Anything that's for their team, is super, they're cheering crazy. They're cheering, they know what's going on. But at the end of the game, they leave, the players go their own way, the student section goes their own way, everyone goes back to their dorms, rooms, apartments, whatever, and there's no more interaction. Right. Most people in the student section probably couldn't tell you what some of the players, deepest, fears are, right?
Right. They might not even know all of the players' names. They might know a few, their friends or friends of friends, but they don't know everything about each one of those players' lives.
Yeah, they don't know real life. They don't know the personal struggle, right? Again, super great group of people. Like, I know that, like, even for us, we just were talking about with Spotify, reading those comments, like, that is encouraging, right?
Absolutely.
To read them on YouTube or Apple Podcasts, like, that's encouraging. Like, that's an encouraging thing to do. But obviously, everyone who leaves a comment is not going to intimately know us, right? Or maybe know the best way to encourage us, right? So that's kind of our outer circle, right? They're like this student section. It's really great, but not super deep.
Right. Can still have positive effect in our life. So like you think about as you're, making gains in your health, you had a non-scale victory where, oh gosh, I couldn't, do pull-ups before and I just did 3 for the first time or whatever, and you share that on Facebook, or I woke up this morning and worked out even though, I didn't feel like it, and you share that out on Instagram or whatever, and you have the people that are like, good job, get it, let's go, that positive encouragement, like that's a relationship that is helping propel you to be a better version of yourself. Mm-hmm. So it's important. It's 100% important and useful and needed. Like we would encourage you, share those things out, even to people you don't know. You don't know how you're encouraging them.
Right.
Someone who maybe sees that and is like, man, I didn't want to get up this morning and I didn't. But they did it, and if they can do it, I know I can, so I'm going to do it tomorrow. So like those relationships can still be super positive in our life, even though we don't know all the intimate details about each other.
Example, I saw a guy just the other day. I would definitely be part of his outer circle. Like not deep. We've golfed a few times, but like not deep, not close. And I saw him and I was like, man, it looks like you've lost some weight. And he's like, oh, yeah, I actually have. Like, we're not best friends, but I could tell that he was encouraged by that, right? That I was able, that I noticed it, whatever. So super good. There's not a ton of invested there, right? Like, I don't know all the things he's done. I don't know the changes that he's made.
Right.
But I can tell that he was like, oh, cool. Yeah, you can actually see it. It had been a while since I saw him. And so, yeah. So, again, it's kind of like the pros and cons of that outer circle, right? Like, we all have it. They're super encouraging, wonderful, but not the deepest people in the world. Not because of them, just you can't be super deep with everybody.
It's not that they're not deep, the relationship you have. Yeah, and that's where the con can be like you said, like it's great that there's a source of encouragement. For one, you may get those comments from people who are in your outer circle that aren't encouraging. And that's where you need to be able to be like, listen, this is my outer circle. They don't know me. They don't know everything about me, and they can leave a negative comment. I can walk away and leave unaffected because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. These aren't the people who truly know me, who know who I am, who know my struggles and my day in and out. Like, you can leave that and walk away and be unaffected, as much as possible as we can be unaffected by negative comments. They still hurt.
Right, yeah, right.
Right.
They do.
Things like that.
Right. And that's actually honestly kind of leads a great segue to the next one, like the inner circle, right? Because the inner circle knows you. They don't just know of you, they know you, right? They know the struggles that you have. They know how you're working. They know the work you're putting in. This is like, they have your ear. They are not just social media influencers, but they actually have an influence in your life. Right. So when you get those negative comments from the outer circle, it's always good to have that inner circle to kind of bounce off of like, hey, I'm hearing this stuff. Like, is this me?
Right. Is this true? Is this,
right.
And they can be like, hey, actually, I have seen some of this, and that can be even harder because you're like, oh, you do know me and you're seeing these negative things in me. So if you're saying it, okay, there must be something to this. I need to make some changes. But there are also people that you've given permission to do that, right? It's not people who are just coming at you, attacking. It's like, no, you know me, you know my strengths and my weaknesses. And so if you're going to call me out on something, first, you're not going to be a jerk about it. Hopefully, most of the time. Hopefully, your inner circle is not people who are being nasty to you. But like, you're going to do it in a loving way because you genuinely care about me and my well-being. And so if you see something negative in me and you're caring enough to bring it to me, you're going to do it in a way that, for one, I've given you permission to do because we have that relationship. And two, that's actually going to be beneficial to me becoming my best self.
That's it. Yeah. Remember, like your inner circle, they're the ones that like, They know your birthday and they don't forget it. They know that you hate horror movies and that you love Chris Hemsworth, right? So like this is like your inner circle. They know, what you do when you're nervous. They can see all the things. And so like you just said, like it's so important that, and when we say that you give them permission, not only do you say, hey, like I want you to be honest with me, tell me these hard truths, but in giving them permission, you almost have to like tell yourself, like, and when I hear those things, I need to listen, knowing that this person cares about me. Hopefully your inner circle is sometimes, or hopefully as part of it is people that live at your house. Maybe that's not the case and that's okay. I just know, like literally just the other day, we were at the table talking about with like our kids about like how we need to be, I don't know if we use the phrase inner circle, but that we need to be in each other's corner and give each other permission to be honest with each other. We all have blind spots. We all have things in our lives that could be troublesome if we don't have somebody else who loves us and cares for us, says, hey, heads up, I don't know if you know this, but this is something that I've noticed, right? And so I've heard someone say before, you can use the oh, I see method. Like, so O being observe, I being, hey, I observe this, I being, hey, here's how I interpret this. And then C is like, hey, so that right now, like, I'm, confronting you on it, right? My observation could be wrong. My interpretation could be wrong, but I just wanted to let you know, here's what I'm seeing.
Right.
And that's really, really key for those people. So we have a couple other things, like what else do we have for this inner circle?
So when you think about, for one, your inner circle is not going to be huge. Your inner circle is probably not 300 people, right? Like,
doubtful.
Probably less than 20, like somewhere between that 10 to 20 mark of people that you've let into your life that you're like, yep, these are my friends. These are my people. These are people who know me. So your inner circle is not going to be huge, and that's okay. No one's really should be.
No.
Like, you don't need that many people in your life telling you all these things. Like, you just need a few.
Right.
We all just need a few. But there's different things that they do for us and that hopefully we're doing for them, that help encourage and help us when we're weak and help us when we're not at our best, right? And the first one being, they're there to support you when you fail, right? So there's going to be times that we fail. It's inevitable. We're not perfect, unfortunately. It would be nice if we were.
Right.
And we
in whatever journey you're in, like this, we're talking about health, right? Mm-hmm. You will fail.
Yeah.
Saving money, you will fail. And learning a new skill, you will fail.
Yep.
Like, so whatever journey we're on, you will fail.
Yeah. I can't remember who originally said it, but like, I love the thought of if you're going to fail hard. Like, go all in, fail hard, so that when you get back up, you have everything that you've learned from it to do it better.
Right.
Failure means you at least tried.
Yep.
If you never fail, how many things did you really try at? So don't be afraid of failure. And have people in your inner circle who are there when you do fail to pick you back up.
Right.
Right? They're going to be the one saying, hey, it's okay. Get up. Let's go. Like, it's all right. Shake it off. You failed. We'll get at it tomorrow. Like, no big deal. Oh, you missed a workout? That's okay. It's all right. Like, we've got tomorrow, or we've got later today, or what, how about we go for a walk? Things like that.
Right. They're there to like pick you back up, right? To help you get up after. And I also have failure too of like, really the only failure is if you quit.
Right.
Right. Like, any type of failing is progress. Mm-hmm. Right. And I think in our minds, like this is kind of a side tangent here, where we kind of need to reframe that word failure and to be like, no, it's progress. Like, I guess one of the things about if you never fail, you're probably never going to get hurt, but it probably also means you're not trying anything.
Right. Are you truly living?
Right. You're not putting yourself out there. Like failure is just progress. And maybe it's not the progress you want, but like, I love what you just said there is, you take what you can from it, you learn, you say, okay, now my next progress will be more informed.
Right.
So if I quote unquote fail again, hopefully it's a little bit different.
Right.
But now I can then take from that and say, okay, what else can I add to this to be even more informed to where you get where you want? And honestly, like, perfection, like there's still things that from a health standpoint that we're working on.
100%.
That we still fail at. So it's not like, oh, you lost this weight, so you no longer fail anymore. Yeah, I do. Yep,
Yeah,
I do, right? So, but my failures now are far more informed than they were,
100%.
165 pounds ago, right? So it's tweak it a little bit more. But then, so I don't know, that's kind of like a side tangent there. But as we were talking, I was just like, man, I've like, just don't quit.
Right.
Like, everyone messes up, right? And that's where social media can really kind of hurt us. Like, is that all you see is highlights?
Right. Y'all, all you see is a positive.
We just posted the other day our bloopers, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yeah, super fun, super flattering.
There's a trend that we did, and look it up on Rudimentary Life Instagram. And if you look at just that one post, it would look like we got it the first try.
Right.
Like, oh my goodness, you guys crushed it. You nailed it.
Right.
The next day we posted all the tries that we had over
the 30
and over
plus
again.
minutes that it took us to actually get it down.
Like, it was bad.
Yeah. It was fun to watch back.
So funny. So we ended up posting the bloopers, right? Because but our failures kept getting better and better and better until we finally got it.
Yep. And we figured it out. We kept tweaking and changing and we got it.
Yep. So yeah, your inner circle, support when you fail, right? They're going to be cheering you on. You miss a workout. You don't eat exactly right? So that's fine. Something else they're going to do for you, your inner circle, is they're going to encourage you when you are weak, all right? So there's slight nuanced differences here, right? This is support when you fail was the first one. This one is they're going to encourage you when you are weak. So this is pre-fail, right? When you're on the brink of like failing, and they're going to bring that tough love in the midst of that battle.
Right.
When you're sitting there and you're like, the alarm goes off just it seems like a little bit earlier and you're like, I'm not going to do this. When, the cake looked a little too good. And again, no hate on cake. We should all have, we should all eat cake, right? But when you're right there, you're ready to quit. You're ready to, you're just right there. They're going to bring the tough love and be like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Remember why you started? Like, remember what's going on here? Like, and you were that for me.
Right. Yeah, you think about if you've already failed, the last thing you need is someone kicking you when you're down saying, oh, you shouldn't have done that, Oh,
right.
Thanks. Yeah, where was that, 20 minutes ago before I did it? You need someone to just encourage and say, okay, well, you did it. Let's go. Let's move on. When you're at the brink of about to fail, of about to make a wrong choice or whatever, yeah, that's when you need someone who's like, hey, I get it. It's hard. But you're stronger than this. Mm-hmm. Like, you can make the right choice here. You can persevere and you can work harder. And how upset are you going to be with yourself in 5 minutes after that bad choice is made? You're going to be like, man, I wish you need people in your life that are that.
Yep.
That are that for you.
Yeah. So great example is when I was looking to lose weight, right? And you knew how bad I wanted to lose weight. Mm-hmm. You knew how self-conscious I was, unhappy, all the things, right? You lived with me. You knew it. You heard the complaining and all this kind of stuff. And so especially as like this journey started and the weight started coming off, we'd be sitting at dinner, and after I ate, I would want to get up and go get more. And I remember like it was never in like a condescending, in a judgy way of just like, you saying, hey, babe, are you sure you want to do that? Why don't you just wait a minute and see if you fill up, if we keep, sitting here talking or whatever. And there were certain times that reminder was super helpful. And I would sit and go, yeah, you are right. And would get full.
Right. And I'm sure there were times when it was super annoying.
Yes. And there were. And there was times that like, I remember I would get up, and then I would go do it. And then later on, I would regret it. And then as you being the key person in my inner circle, had to switch your role from the encouragement to the support because I had failed. And you were like, it's okay.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's all right. We'll get it tomorrow. Yeah. No big deal. One meal's not going to kill you. Like, so right. You, even in that one situation of flipping roles of not just supporting me when I failed, but also in my weaknesses of being that encouragement. And I mean, you're the main person, but there's obviously even our family. I couldn't have done this alone. I could not have lost this kind of weight alone. Of having people that would work out with me, mm-hmm. that it honestly like changed everything. It made a massive difference. And so you were that encouragement inner circle for me at those points, like especially at that time.
Right. Right. And again, we all need that because now that you're where you're at, guess who, not that you weren't then, but even more so now as I have struggles, and like you're that person for me. How many times do I hear, hey, did you have your greens today? Have you had your greens today? It's literally become a running joke in our family because that's one thing, a supplement that we take, and he's really good about it. I am not so much, and I know it's something that will help me. And my kids will say that now, like if I'm like, oh, I want a piece of chocolate. Well, Mom, have you had your greens yet? And they say it in their funniest dad voice. But as much as we joke about it, I know that you're just trying to help and that you're trying to encourage me to do things that are going to help me in the long run. And I do appreciate it, even though I can be snarky sometimes.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, sometimes it'll be hey, let's go downstairs and get a quick workout.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I really just wanted to sit here and, scroll on my phone for a little bit. I was with, fourth graders all day. Last thing I feel like doing is workout, but we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. It's good encouragement. It's great. I love it. Yeah. I love it so much. Anyway.
So support, encourage, and then the next one, accountable.
Yeah.
They're going to hold you accountable when you are right there ready to quit.
Yeah. And this isn't like you're having a weak moment. This is like, oh, I've broken through those weak moments and I've made a bunch of right choices and I'm doing all the right things. And man, it feels like things aren't changing. The scale hasn't moved in a month and I feel like my body stopped losing inches and all these things, and I'm so frustrated, and I just want to eat whatever I want to eat, and I just want to not have to wake up early and work out, and guess what? I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. I'm ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah.
Who's the person in your life who's going to come alongside and say, remember, it's going to be worth it?
That's it. Like, that's the person who's going to remind you, obviously in a good way, of the things that you said you were going to do. Hey, remember you said you wanted to do this. They're going to remind you of future you. What will future you, I know you talked a second ago about, 5 minutes away. What is future you in 12 months? Like, you quit now, in 12 months, what will you be saying? And that was for me, like, man, if I would have started this 12 months ago, think how far along I would be.
Right.
And there were times that you were that person, you were like, hey, remember where you're going. Remember what you're trying to accomplish. Remember what we're doing here. Holding me accountable in a really great way that I needed. And hopefully we're all that for everybody, right? That when you have good weeks where things are going great, but like you said, the inches aren't coming off, that accountability partner of saying, hey, remember why we're doing this, right? So, and again, like I said, I gave examples here where you were that for, so these aren't necessarily 3 different people, but this is just people in your inner circle that are helping you to be in the best version of you in these different ways by encouraging you on. They know the struggle. So
absolutely. Yeah. And as we talked about it, just side tangent, like there will be times when things will plateau. If you're losing weight, trying to build muscle, wherever you're at on your health journey, there will be times when your body just all of a sudden is like, okay, we're just going to stay here for a little bit.
Yep.
It's super frustrating. I don't totally understand it. I'm sure science-wise, like it makes sense and stuff, like your body's adjusting, but it's like, are you serious right now? Like, come on, let's go. Like, I'm doing the work. It doesn't stay there. Sometimes you just have to keep at it a little bit longer, and sometimes it feels like you're there for forever. I promise it doesn't stay there. Like, your body will eventually be like, okay, yep, I'm ready.
Yep.
I think about times where it's like, oh, you would lose, 10, 12 pounds in 1 month. And then the next month you're like, I lost 5 ounces. Like, seriously? Like, what's going on? But then the next month, all of a sudden now we're back to like 6 pounds.
Right.
Like, so that's normal. And it's also normal to get frustrated, and it's okay. Have people in your life who are going to encourage you in those moments. We need it, because those are the moments where you're like, I'm done. It's just not worth it. Because you forget about everything that you've already done. You need someone who's going to remind you, hey, remember where you were 6 months ago and where you are now? That didn't come from you sitting on the couch doing nothing. That came from hard work. Keep going.
Yeah, and they probably remind you to stop comparing yourself to the person on Instagram that's doing the 1 billion push-ups and who has the rock solid abs, and you're like, how come I'm not this yet?
Yeah.
Right. You're not comparing yourself to the right people, right?
Yeah.
It's really, you're comparing yourself to you. What were you 6 months ago? What are you now, right? Compare yourself to you. It's UVU. So we have the outer circle, inner circle, then we take it to the next one.
Get the core.
We have the core, or the bullseye, or the person. And this is probably, and these groups keep getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
Like your outer circle, like you said.
Infinite, whatever.
Right. Bazillions of social media followers, whatever, right? Big drastic cut to your inner circle, right? Where you said maybe 10, most 20, not a ton of people who kind of really have your ear. This next one is
like 1 to 5.
Yeah, maybe.
Most of us might have 1 or 2.
Yeah, maybe 5 at most, right? Which is your core, right? The bullseye. One of the things that we've called this person before, I think you came up with the name with the
alliteration.
No, the pain pal.
Oh yeah,
the pain pal. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the pain pal is the person who, they are your co-struggler.
Yeah.
They don't just see you, they are fighting with you. They are the one that is doing the diet with you. They're the ones that are doing the workouts with you. Your pain pal is the person who is making the healthy habits the way that you are.
Absolutely. They have the same goals. They have the same motivations. Yeah, they're in it together with you, going through all the pain, because it's not easy.
Right. And so that means everything they say means so much more because they know, right? So one of the things that they are is they're also this pain pal, this core person, especially when it comes to health and fitness, they're your workout buddy. Like, it's the person who's working out with you. So when you set your alarm at whatever hour of the morning that you don't want to get up, they're doing the same thing. And maybe even sometimes you're meeting together to work out together.
Right. And obviously for you and I, it was each other a lot of that time. As, we grew in this or shrunk in this or however you want to say it, we had a few other people that, for each of us, one person in particular that became our workout buddy, and I am incredibly thankful for that person. There are many, many times when I would not get up if it wasn't for my workout buddy. My workout buddy's name is Allison. Shout out to Allison. I love you, girl. But yeah, there's mornings where he's gotten up and worked out with his friend Frank, and he'll be gone before I even get up sometimes because we work out a little bit later. And I told him, I'd be like, there's no way I would have gotten up if I didn't know she was coming to my house at 6:15 in the morning.
Right.
I 100% would have turned the alarm off and went back to bed. But knowing that she was going to be here and that I was going to let her down if I, texted and was like, hey, I don't feel like it this morning, or, oh, I overslept, that kept me, okay, I got to do this. And guess what? Every time it's not like, oh my gosh, that was the worst. I'm so glad.
Right.
Because not only did I get a workout in, but I got to see my friends and we chat as we work out and things like that. So it's also a time for us to get to know each other better and encourage each other and things like that. So yeah, definitely would not be able to do it without her, without you, even our kids who will do workouts with us. You need those people.
Yeah, I always find that I work out harder, better, put more effort in when I'm with somebody because there's someone else there.
Right.
It's easy to let yourself off the hook. It's a lot harder to let yourself off the hook when you have someone there with you.
Yeah.
So that's your workout buddy. Like me and Frank will even joke around because it feels like the hour of the morning, 6 o'clock, or actually 5:50 in the morning when we work out comes so early that we'll be like, oh, see you in a few minutes, because it feels like it's like just a couple of minutes and we're like, oh, here we are again working out.
Yeah.
But so we kind of have that, and we have that pain together. So one of the cool things too with your pain partner, with your pain pal, with this core group, is that also too, they're the ones that you can celebrate with, right? So they're your, we have written here the celebratory friend, right? Because they know what the small victories are of when you set the alarm to work out. They know you're not going to post, hey, I got up at 5:50 to work out this morning, right? And people are going to be like, why are you sharing that with us? You're right.
Yeah.
But that person will know, nope, I know what it's like.
Yeah.
And I understand that's hard. And so good job. When you go for a jog and it's, we live in Buffalo and it's, 30 degrees outside and you're like, all right, well, I'm going to go for a jog, right? Or when you don't take the second helping of cake, or when you passed on the office, birthday party, as far as, eating the whatever was brought in, they understand all of those small victories because they're making those same sacrifices as well.
Right. Absolutely.
So you're really able to cheer with them, right? When you go down to pant size, when, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I've got to buy a smaller shirt now, all these things. This is your person who's cheering you on with all your, I always say your quote unquote small victories.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no victory is truly small.
Right.
But the things, you're not going to post, oh, I lost a half a pound today. But hey, a half a pound, I don't know if I already mentioned this, I always think of pounds because I was a baker for forever. I always think of pounds as in packs of butter. And if you think about 10 pounds of butter, that's 40 sticks of butter? That's a lot of butter. So if you lost a half a pound, that's 2 sticks of butter, man.
Right.
That's a decent amount of weight. Right. So celebrate that. And your celebratory friend is going to get that.
Right.
They are 100% going to be like, nope, I get it. Those 2 sticks of butter, that took a lot to get off,
And also, too, from the celebration side, they're also your...
commiseration pal.
Right.
To make sure I said it right.
The commiseration pal.
Commiseration.
Basically someone you can vent with.
Yeah, someone who has compassion, who understands the misery.
Right.
Sometimes that working out and getting up early or eating right and all the things are.
Yeah, and when you meet with that person in the morning to work out and they're like, oh, good morning. And you're like, is it? Is it a good morning? I can confirm with you that it is morning.
It is morning.
It is not good.
Is it good? It's dark. It's early.
And we're getting ready to be out of breath and pain.
My kids were jerks last night, or the cat threw up in my bedroom and I had to clean that up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Or recently we had 2 bats in our bedroom. That was super fun. And it's always 4 a.m. in the morning that things like that happen, you know. They're the person that you can vent about that stuff with.
Yes.
And like you always think, you hear like, oh, you know, you don't want to be negative. And don't focus on the negativity, but getting that stuff out to someone who actually cares and is listening, there's actual like dopamine hits that we get off of that. Like, don't stay there. I know even when Alice and I have had conversations, where it's like, okay, we're sharing things that this is a frustration. This was an annoying thing. And she actually was the way she's like, okay, but we're always going to end positive. Okay, so we got through that. Let's share this now. And we always try and leave on a positive note, which I love. Like, don't stay in that aggravated mindset. But at the same time, like, it's okay to vent. We need to get that stuff out. If we hold it in, like, I know you know this. If I hold things in for too long, what happens?
You melt down.
I melt down.
Same as me.
Yeah.
So.
I melt down or I explode. One or the other. It's either I'm going to crumble into a ball and cry, or someone better watch out because they're about to get full force of all my rage that I've been holding back for the past however long it's been. Neither one is good.
No, yeah. Like you just said, like there are countless studies that are showing the value of productive venting, right? Not just complaining to each other, but of solution oriented, and not that you always even got to come up with a solution. Sometimes it's just, hey, I know you can't fix this. I just got to share this with somebody, and you get it off your chest. And there's no solution that's brought about, but you're just feeling better, right?
Because they say, yeah, you know what, that sucks,
right?
And you're like, yeah, it does.
Yeah,
cool. Thanks for validating how I'm feeling right now. That's what I need.
Right. And so, and especially having like that inner person, that core person or a couple people that know what you're going through, that you can share that with. You're not going to share all this stuff with everybody, nor should you, right? People not only think you're a crazy person, but you don't got to get your business all out there, right? But you have those people that you can share things with. It's going to help you as a human being to be able to breathe. And remember why we're talking about all this, right? This is the number one thing tied to longevity.
Yeah.
To people who are living long, healthy, happy lives, relationships. And it's the one thing that you think about in school. We have all these classes that we learn all these subjects. Relationships really isn't ever one of them. You don't really learn. You learn on the fly. Right.
You're kind of forced into relationships, right?
But, and you see the relationship that maybe your parents have. Maybe that's a good thing.
Right.
Maybe that's a bad thing. And so you start mimicking only what you know, right? Especially as you get older, you're like, oh, you know what? I don't really know how to make friends. How do you make friends as an adult, right? It's not like you go to the playground and you're like, oh, hey, cool. You got a Buffalo Bill sweatshirt on too. Let's be friends, right? Like, it's so easy when you're a kid, but no one really teaches you or shows you or talks through these things, right? So you think, well, why are we spending so much time talking about what a good friend should be doing? Because it's that important.
Right.
Because it's that important. And what it comes back down to is stress management. We do not understand the havoc that stress wreaks on our body. It's a word we throw on all the time. Oh, I'm stressed out. I'm so stressed. It's stressful. And since stress isn't something that you can actually like pour in a cup, or you can't grab it and say, oh, here's all my stress, I just need to get rid of it. We don't think it's a big deal because it's like this invisible thing. But internally, it is not invisible. It is very visible. And there are all kinds of chemical things that happen in our body especially when we're harboring stress. These outer, inner, and especially like that core person is going to help you deal with that and work through that in a safe, effective, productive manner, which then leads to long, happy lives. That's why we're talking about this, right?
Right.
So I just don't want us to forget of like why this is so important, right? Because you might hear this and say, oh, this stuff is so rudimentary. Yeah, we know, but nobody does it.
Right.
Right. We never promised we were going to give earth-shattering news on this podcast.
Right.
Literally, it's in the name, the rudimentary life. It's the basics. It's the simple, but just nobody's doing it because it's basic and simple doesn't mean it's easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes those basic, simple things are the hardest things to do. It's the things you say, I know I should, but I know I should eat better, but go back to the rudimentary, right? So that's
once
why
you start doing some of those simple things, it makes the things that seem harder not so hard.
Right.
Because we're tackling it at the foundation.
That's it. Yeah. So we talk about all the good sides of relationships, right? Outer, inner, the bullseye, the core. Now we got to get into
toxic relationships. Do they exist? Yeah, 100% they do.
Yep,
there
they
are
do.
people in your life that are bringing toxicity.
Right. And that word toxic can kind of get thrown around a lot now, right? You know, someone says something to you that you don't like and you think, oh, that person's toxic. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're telling you something you need to hear and you just don't like it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So we got to be careful how we throw that around. But studies do suggest that we are going to align ourselves with the people we spend the most time with. That's not earth shattering, but think about this. Most likely, not only in our personalities, but like physically, the people you spend the most time with, their health goals are probably closely aligned to your health goals. The way they are, and when I say mentally, the way that they act from whether, are they a positive person? Are they a negative person, right? The people you spend the most time with probably align close to how you view things.
Right.
And then also from an emotional standpoint, whether they're flying off the handle, whether they got it together or whatever, the people you spend the most time with in those areas, you're going to be the most aligned with, right? So you kind of take like this core that we were talking about and say, okay, here's all the cool things that a core could be. Well, what if your core has some of these other traits in it, right?
Right. If your 5 closest friends are constantly negative, and again, like we talked about venting and that's good, but like if there's just constant negativity pouring out of them, good luck being the beacon of hope and positivity and that. Like you can't surround yourself with that 24/7 and then be like, but I'm a beacon of positivity and joy and light. Like it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Your light will dim very quickly.
Right.
You are who you hang out with.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like there are countless like philosophers and really smart people, and I even think about like the Bible that says like don't hang out with angry people because you will become angry. The idea there is that you're going to become who you spend your time with, right? So we got to be picky about that, right? We got to make sure we're super picky about who's that core, right? So think about it, like who are the 5 people that you spend the most time with?
Right. Are they people that you want to be like?
Right.
Do you look at those 5 people and say, you know what? Yeah, that's a good group of people. They're good people. Like they're making me better for being around them.
Yep.
Cool. Keep building those relationships. But if you look at those 5 people and you're like, man, I don't really want to be like them. I hope people don't view me the way that people view them. Maybe there's some things you should think about then. And again, not that you have to X those people out of your life, but okay, how much time should I be spending in that environment?
Exactly, yeah. And so we just got to be so careful about it, right? Of really looking at what we're doing right there. And so like I would encourage you to make a list. Write down the 5 people that you're spending the most time with. What are their names? Are those people helping you to become a better spouse, a better partner, a better sibling, a better employee, a better boss, a better neighbor, a better citizen? Are they helping you become better? And are you helping them become better? Okay. Now write down people that you think, man, when I think about these positive things, all the things that we were talking about with like what the core, what my core people should be, even what my inner circle could be, I thought of these people. Write their names down. So now you have these 2 lists, the 5 people that you're spending the most time with and the 5 people that probably would have the best impact on your life. Ideally, those lists are the same. If not, then you got to make some changes.
Right.
You got to make some adjustments. And I love you said we're not going to X people out and you're not going to call the person and be like, yo, dude, I listened to a podcast and I can't hang out with you anymore. Right? That's not what we're saying.
No,
right?
Definitely not.
But you may have to have some conversations that setting up some boundaries, or even in your own mind of being like, I need to hang out less with this person.
Right. Especially if you're trying to attain some health goals where you're like, okay, I'm making some changes. I want to lose weight. I want to be healthier. It was amazing to me how many people, and I know you'll say this all the time, like never said anything to you really about being unhealthy. But as soon as you started making healthy change, the amount of people that were like, oh, don't go too hard. Like you don't want to push it, or, oh, you're not going to, have a burger. Oh gosh, how are you going to live your whole life like that? And just like these negative, like, well, you only live once. I want to, be able to eat whatever I want to eat. Why are you everyone had an opinion once you started eating healthy or making changes. All the same people had nothing to say when you were making bad choices and eating all the takeout and doing all these things. So it really came to light of oh, maybe these people aren't the people who are really going to help me in this journey. Again, not that they're out of my life, but maybe I should spend less time with them as I'm trying to make these changes. I just was thinking about, and it was a TV show that we started watching together, and then you were like, this is too much drama. I can't watch it. I remember the show This Is Us.
Oh, yeah.
And there's the one main character who's overweight, and she goes to a meeting for people who are struggling, with obesity and things like that. And she meets a guy, I think his name was Toby, and, he starts flirting with her, and she's like, I can't be in a relationship with someone who's also overweight. I'm really trying to focus on losing weight. And he goes, well, I guess I'll lose the weight then, because he wanted to be in her life. And so he's like, okay, if that's what it's going to take to get to know you, I'm on board. Let's do this. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's someone who's like, hey, all right, this is the goal you have. I want to make that my goal too. I'm going to help you. Again, obviously he was looking to flirt and date and all the things, but, but
the point is there.
The point is there.
So some signs of toxicity, right? So not that we can get crazy specific, but some signs of toxicity, right? If you're looking at these two lists, is the people on the list that you spend the most time with, are they too demanding, right? Are they giving more? Are you giving more than you're getting? Now, we all understand that there's times in every relationship where you're giving more. People are hurting, someone's going through something, and you're giving more. So relationships are all about, there's this give and take or whatever. But if it's the person where every time you see them text or they call and you see them and you go,
okay, what do they need now?
Okay, here we go. Maybe that's someone that's a little too demanding. They're draining from you, right? They're pulling from you. And it's not just at a time where it's well, they need something right now. They're going through a hard time. That could be someone that, again, you're not going to abandon or X out or whatever, but maybe you spend a little less time with, right? That could be a sign of someone who's just toxic and they need to learn, hey, you're going to figure some of this stuff out on your own, right? Not that we don't have a community, and I know that sounds so mean.
Right.
But you can only help people from a full cup.
Right.
If you're drained by this person who's pulling from you, if I'm drained by a friend I'm spending a ton of time with who's always pulling for me, then I come and try to be a husband to you and I'm drained, I won't do a good job. Right. And this is the most important. So I got to make some changes over here then, right? So.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not trying to be insensitive.
No.
But you gotta take care of you. And then with the overflow, be able to take care of others, right? And so maybe you're not the only person in that person's life, and they have other people that they can then rely on as well, But yeah, there's got to be a little bit of guarding there of making sure you protect what's most important.
Yep. Another trait is maybe they have unrealistic expectations, or their expectations are a moving target.
Right.
This could be a tough one because a lot of times these are people that are in some type of authority figure, or in a way that we're someone that we want their approval. We like when they encourage us, when we do well. Right. But these people can be impossible to please, right? Like I said, moving expectations. They're pleasing them is, like I said, an impossibility. You can think about sometimes maybe a boss you have that you're just and I'm not saying, hey, just up and quit your job.
Right.
But maybe you have a conversation. Hey, this is hard. It seems like you want me to do this. When I get there, then all of a sudden it's this. and you have that conversation. Maybe you don't. You know your situation better than we do. So
Right. And I mean, maybe it's parents, which you hate to say that. You hope no one ever has to deal with that, but maybe it's parents that have just unrealistic expectations on you and just doesn't seem like there's anything you can do to please them. You know, they're always upset. Like, that's hard because that's a relationship like you don't want to, that's someone you're not going to X out, nor do you want to, right? Like, but you got to find ways, and maybe it's setting up boundaries. Okay, I'm going to spend this amount of time, but I'm not going to spend this amount of time. I'm going to keep this time sacred. This is mine. You know what I mean? And figuring out exactly what that looks like, and it's going to look different for everyone. And there might be hard choices that need to be made, but it's okay to say no and to not allow those people to control your life and overtake. You know?
Right. Like the pilot says, put on your mask first.
Right.
Right. That way you can help other people. So that's kind of when you talk about this, what we call this pillar of we have it what's called family. This pillar of family health, or basically just community relationships. You have these people, this outer circle, inner circle, core. Then you also have, toxic relationships. I would encourage everyone to make those lists. Like it could be eye-opening for you, and spend time with the people that are going to make you better, right? And the people who are in your life that are already making you better, thank them. Hey, right. I really appreciate that. I don't know if I ever told you this, and it might be a weird conversation because it might get a little emotional, right?
Right.
Us guys, we like to get emotional, right? But hey, I appreciate you. Like, I'm a better person because I spend time with you, so I just wanted to say thanks, right? Or whatever. So super important. But like every episode, we want to end with a couple of different things here. One of them being our rudimentary ritual, right? So our rudimentary ritual, take it away.
All right. So something that, and we touched on this today, is having deliberate in-person connection with people in our core group, right? So yeah, it's great to send a text. Yeah, it's great to talk on the phone, but like these are the people that on a weekly basis try and have as much interaction with, face to face, not just through the phone. And sometimes these people don't live in the same state, and that's okay. Like, we get it. You do what you got to do. That's where technology is amazing. But like I said, Allison is one of those people for me. We get together 2 or 3 days a week to work out. We see each other outside of that. For you have that as well with Frank. Like, we have people in our lives, our kids, we have 1 million children. So like, they're part of our core group, right? But having that deliberate in-person connection, build those relationships, something that it should be, weekly, daily, hopefully, that we have these relationships with people that are encouraging us. And
yeah, you think about you and me, like one thing that's important to me, which I know it is to you as well, but to have time with you every day, right? Life can be crazy. It'd be like, hey, even if it's at the end of the day before we go to bed, it's like, hey, how was your day? What craziness happened, and just to share, to be able to connect with each other before the day's over.
Yeah, because there's days where it is crazy. And like, I saw you for 5 minutes in the morning before you left or before I left. And then, okay, it's now 9:30 at night. And this is the first chance just the two of us have gotten to sit down. It's like, dang, how was your day? I feel like I haven't seen you all day. I missed you. Like, okay, let's connect. Let's share, even if we're exhausted and we're like struggling to keep our eyes open. Okay, I want those couple minutes, though, to just hear about your day. And
yeah, a simple, basic thing, but it means so much, every day. So, and then also, too, every episode we want to share a recipe.
Yep.
So the recipe today is kind of punny, little play on words.
We're going to share our recipe for heroes.
Or maybe you pronounce them gyros or gyros, but heroes because the people in our inner circle are heroes. Those core people, they're our heroes.
Absolutely.
So speaking of, our daughter is our sound person, and she's giving me weird stink eye, because that was super cheesy.
Yeah, so that's okay. We're cheesy. We embrace it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're like, what the heck is a hero? And I know there's different ones. My favorite recipe is we use chicken. You can definitely use beef too. Season it with Greek seasoning. We make our own. Delicious. A lot of dill and oregano and all these yummy flavors.
Oregano, for our Australian listeners.
all two of you. And
basil and oregano.
You're so cultured, babe.
I know, whatever.
So you marinate the chicken, and this is a really great recipe for weeknights that are crazy, because everything can be done ahead of time and it comes together really fast. Because literally you're just chopping the chicken, marinate it, cook it, and we put it on some naan with tzatziki, which is basically like Greek yogurt, dill, and cucumber. That's a fancy word, but that's pretty much what it is. We do pickled onions, shredded lettuce, tomatoes, I think olives we put on there, and you eat it like a little sandwich almost, or a wrap.
It's super fun to have people over when you do this meal, because it's wicked messy.
Like, it's all over the place.
All over the place. There's this beard is just full of tzatziki.
Yeah. Hot.
So hot.
But it's delicious. And yeah, the only cooking involved is cooking the chicken. And if you can marinate and cook it earlier and cut it up and have it in the fridge, you come home from a, volleyball game, basketball game, football game, whatever it is, and it's ready. Yeah. You don't have to heat anything up. You just put all the ingredients out. Everyone makes their own.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorites.
Yep.
Super easy.
It's on the website.
Yep.
Go take a look. We'll put a link to it in our show notes. Go take a look. Try it out. If you try it out, tag us.
Yeah. Let us know what you think.
All right. At the Rudimentary Life, tag us. Show us some pictures. We want to see those heroes. Gyros, gyros, whatever. Heroes for the sake of today.
Yes.
It's spelled Gyro, so people say it all kinds of weird ways. So anyhow,
I don't know what the original Greek is, but
but hey, that's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Definitely hope you found it helpful in improving your life. That there's at least a few things you pulled out of it where you're like, hey, I think I can improve some relationships with this. I can be a better friend to someone else by making sure I'm these kind of things, right?
If you have someone in your life that you're like, oh, they need to hear this. They have people in their life that they, really need to rethink about having in their life. Share it with them. People that are your core and you're like, hey, I want to share this with you because this is who you are for me. Like, share it out. We want to get this out there, keeping those healthy relationships alive. So comment, tag your friends.
Yep, tag us, tag your friends, tag your core people, share it out there. Guys, we have so much more coming your way. Stay tuned to TRL Radio. Thanks so much for listening. Yes. Make it a great day.
See you next time.
Talk to you later. If you want more of Eric and Michelle Hall and TRL Radio in your life, and honestly, who doesn't, head over to therudimentarylife.com.
There, you'll be able to find all the things, show notes, videos, step-by-step instructions for each recipe, more ways to connect with us and join in with whatever shenanigans we're getting into.
Yeah, and for extra credit, leave us a rating on your favorite listening app. We definitely appreciate all the love.
Thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time.